It's Friday, September 19th.
That bigger deal that's in the interest not just of the United States, but in the interest of the Canadian people is not on the table. But it's still possible.
Canada and Mexico sign a deal to strengthen economic ties as Trump's trade war drags on.
It's not fair to be ill and not be able to get the help that you need.
A new study finds many Canadians are leaving emergency rooms without receiving any treatment because the wait, well, it's just too long.
These drivers were having some poor training.
Quebec truck drivers are planning to slow down traffic in Montreal Monday to protest what they call lax safety rules. And speaking of truck drivers, look at this. A truck driver is safe after managing to swim to shore after the ground just collapsed right under him. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
Good morning. I'm Teddy Wilson. Happy Friday, Canada.
Teddy, great to have you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I haven't seen you in a while.
It took me a second. I was like, Friday.
Friday.
I see what you did there.
I did that. It's been a few weeks since I've been here, so you got to get used to my strange language. Yeah.
Nice to have you back.
Well, thanks a lot. I love when you lie to me. It's good to be back. Should we look at some news?
Sure.
Do you want to start with trade?
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it. Here we go. Prime Minister Mark Carney will wrap up his visit to Mexico today, this after signing a strategic partnership on trade.
We're beginning a new era of elevated cooperation with a comprehensive strategic partnership.
Carney and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum met in Mexico City yesterday, agreeing to deepen trade ties and partner up on building infrastructure, including ports, rail lines, and energy corridors. The pact will not affect the current Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade deal, or CUSMA, with Carney saying it will complement it. The deal also includes $9.9 million for UN-led programs on drug control and migrant integration. The move comes as both countries deal with U.S. President Donald Trump's unpredictable trade war ahead of next year's renegotiation of CUSMA. Ottawa and some provinces are picking sides in the Supreme Court challenge to Quebec's secularism law.
We are arguing that even though the notwithstanding clause of the Canadian Constitution is being used, that courts across Canada should still be able to review laws like Quebec's Bill 21.
Manitoba has filed its intervention in this landmark case, and so is Ottawa. They're arguing courts should be able to rule whether laws violate the Charter, even though they're being shielded by the notwithstanding clause. Ottawa goes further, asking the Supreme Court to set limits on how the clause could be invoked. Quebec passed its religious symbols ban in 2019. Using the notwithstanding clause to keep it from charter challenges. The Quebec government is accusing Ottawa of attacking provincial rights.
It's an attack against all provincial assembly, against all legislative assembly.
Ontario and Alberta have supported the use of the notwithstanding clause, calling it an essential part of our Constitution. The Supreme Court has yet to set a date to hear the case. And Alberta is now preparing to use the Charter's notwithstanding clause on 3 laws that target transgender people. This is according to a leaked government memo obtained by the Canadian press. The internal document sent by the province's Justice Department asks government departments to gather information to support the Premier's directive to amend the laws. Those laws cover school pronouns, transgender girls participating in female sports, and access to gender-affirming care. LGBTQ rights advocates are calling the move an attack, while Alberta says it's using all legal means to protect children. The notwithstanding clause would shield the law from charter legal challenges. The Nova Scotia government has issued an order to all public schools in the province requiring them to play the national anthem every morning.
We thank the land, we thank this country for the opportunity. For myself, I'm an immigrant here. I thank this country for all the opportunity I had. So I think it's really important to stand up for our values.
The order came after a group of students at Charles P. Allen High School in Bedford wrote a letter to Nova Scotia's education minister. That letter expressed their concern over the school no longer playing O Canada. In response, the minister put a new national anthem in schools policy into effect. The minister says there are a handful of schools that were not playing the anthem, and he wants all of them to follow the same policy. Well, people heading to the emergency room in this country might not be getting the care they need.
You think, well, you know, if I'm going to die, I might as well die at home. Why would I die in a hard chair in a waiting room, right?
Peter Phillips was struggling with pain in his chest when he went to the George Dumont Hospital ER in Moncton. After waiting for 6 hours, he left. And he's one of an increasing number of patients across the country who are leaving emergency rooms without being treated. This is according to a study by the Montreal Economic Institute that found that of the 16.3 million emergency room visits in Canada last year, nearly 8% went untreated. And the number of people leaving emergency rooms without care was up by 35% in the last year. Prince Edward Island had the highest proportion of patients leaving without receiving treatment. Manitoba was next, followed by New Brunswick. Ontario's police chiefs now voicing their support for speed cameras, this in response to the province's premier threatening to scrap them. The Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police say speed cameras are effective, freeing up resources for other public safety priorities. The group is urging municipalities to use the cameras strategically to support other road safety measures. The recommendation comes after Ontario Premier Doug Ford called the cameras a cash grab and warned municipalities if they don't get rid of them on their own, his government will. And this all comes as 3 more cameras in Toronto were vandalized. And just last week, 16 of those cameras were cut down. We got to look now at some of the damage, as you can see on your screen, and police say the 3 most recent incidents remain under investigation. Well, some commuters in Montreal can expect a longer drive on Monday because of a planned protest by truck drivers.
This has been approved with the Sûreté du Québec and engineers to make sure that we can drive on the road that we were asking for.
The drivers say they will slow traffic along the Champlain Bridge and La Fontaine Tunnel. They're protesting what they call low training standards and weak enforcement in the province's trucking industry. In Quebec, truckers do not have to take a driving course. They only need to pass a road test. Truck drivers say they'll maintain pressure tactics until there are new safety rules in place. And a BC trucking company has posted drone video of one of its trucks falling into a lake. Some stunning footage here. The Vancouver Island-based company says it happened back in August during a fish restoration project. The Post says the shoreline collapsed and caused the truck carrying about a dozen logs to fall in, but thankfully the driver got back to shore unhurt. The company says this is a reminder of the importance of continuous risk assessment. A WorkSafe BC investigation reprimanded the company. Glad the driver's okay. Okay, Avril Lavigne is behind a new complicated drink. She launched her first official wine in collaboration with Banshee Wines. Of course, it's called Complicated. It's a limited edition Pinot Noir described as light, velvety, and layered with notes of cherry and raspberry. I'm in. It's available exclusively on the Banshee Wines website for $30 while supplies last.